proudly launch Miss Suchitra Krishnamurthy's book, Ghost on the Ledge, published by Penguin.
So of course I'm Rakhi Bakshi, Meenakshi Sherawat ji is also here, and we're both talking to Suchitra Krishnamurthy. There's a book of course, but there's more than somebody who's done theatre very vividly, and somebody who's really lent her soul to music in a very large manner, and of course written many books. So we are going to talk to her about books, about music, about acting, about this whole world of writing and painting of course. Painting she's doing largely now recently. So with both Meenakshi and I will be talking about that also, about this whole world of creativity also at large, Suchitra, that we'll be talking about. With Meenakshi, you would like to start?
Good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Suchitra amongst us. Suchitra Krishnamurthy is an Indian art actress, writer, painter, and singer. Suchitra started her career with the TV series Chunauti while still in school in the year 1987-88. She was a successful model in the early 90s, endorsing products such as Palmolive soap, Clearasil, Sunrise Coffee, Limca, Colgate toothpaste. In 1994, she made her breakthrough in films with Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na, a commercial and critically acclaimed hit opposite Shah Rukh Khan. Suchitra is a classically trained vocalist in the Gwalior Gharana style of Indian classical music. She studied the art form for over 10 years. She is an accomplished poet and painter, having trained in India, London and New York. She has exhibited her paintings in galleries across India and endorsed around the globe. Her art, Suchitra proclaims, is a divine blessing from Lord Ganesha. Having never painted or ever sketched in her life before, Suchitra held a paintbrush in her hand for the first time on 21st September 2004 during the Ganesh Chaturthi festival. In September 2012, Suchitra launched the Candlelight Company, specializing in the therapeutical organic candles for wellness. Drama Queen, a first-person narrative by Suchitra, released in November 2013, has been receiving rave reviews. The first print of the book sold out within a week from its release date. So this is Suchitra Krishnamurthy in front of us. Now we'll be talking to her about her journey, which is so beautiful, creative, and it's so much like a fantasy, but we all know that it is real. Rakhi?
Yeah, so Suchitra, why don't we first talk about the book? And you know, the title is very interesting, I find it, you know, Ghost on the Ledge. Why such a title, and does it have a lot of mystery? Is it a thriller? What is it all about?
Yes, it's a thriller. It's my first attempt at a thriller. And the basic premise or the subtext of the book and the story is when secrets become specters. It's about how secrets can harm families, how secrets can pull families down, and how secrets can ultimately turn into ghosts. So it's about the story of young Anupama, a 12-year-old girl who starts seeing things at a window. And of course she's told there's something wrong with her, she's imagining things, you know, she's even sent for epilepsy tests and everything. But she knows that she's actually seeing those things, and as she unravels the mystery of the ghost on the ledge, secrets of her own family start tumbling out, which then create a large conflict. And how solving the mystery of the ghost on the ledge also helps her to solve the mystery of her family secrets and bring her family back together. So the premise of the story is that.
Who wrote wrote it, was there something, I mean, did you ever mix your personal experiences whenever you write a book? Is it like you somewhere kind of tend to,
I think somewhere we do use our personal experiences, but definitely I've never seen ghosts. And I have not, so this is not my personal experience, but yes, a lot of the characters are based on people I knew, I know, I still know. And ultimately, I think creativity is also about imagination, so you let it run wild, yeah.
And Sujitra, this is a continuation of your series.
It's the third book of the
third,
Swapnalok
same
Society series, yeah.
Swapnalok. Would you let us know about a little bit more about the first two books of yours?
The Swapnalok Society series is based on the life of a cooperative housing society in Mumbai and its members. It's a typical ethos of middle class cooperative housing society living. You know, it's very typical of Mumbai, the community life, the activities, the politics, the gossip, the backbiting, the jealousy, the little, you know, ins and outs of their lives. And the first book called Summer of Cool was released as far back as in 2009. And that's the story of a young girl, Chitrangana Verma, looking for her father. She lives with her mother and her sister, and her father is a big mystery in her life. And how she goes about finding her father, and how then she finally comes to terms with the situation around her, and how she's helped by the society, by her friends, her neighbors, the community. And when I wrote Summer of Cool, I had not intended it to be young adult fiction, or I had written it as a book as the story came. But it was Penguin's idea, the editor that time, who suggested and requested that I turn it into a series. And I very bravely said yes, not knowing what the next book is going to be. But then the next book was The Good News Reporter. Yeah, which is about a girl who thinks she can. It's the premise of that book, the tagline of that book is making the world a better place, one good news story at a time. So it's about a little girl who thinks that if she makes good news stories, she can encourage people to be around her, to be good and do good things, and so bring about positive change in the world.
And so much relevant in our times also now because of the breaking news coverage, and early in the morning sometimes you get to see very negative news. So this book especially is something which when children read, they might just connect with it because the positivity is very important.
Yeah, and I think what I mean, it is a very positive. I think all three books, frankly, I would like everybody to read all four of my books.
Definitely.
But I think it's nice. I think my attempt at telling every story is to not be preachy. I think because I know that anytime I was
In the
lectured
story
to,
form.
yeah, so it's a story and people take what they want from it, but that is the underlying crux of the story. So that is about that. And then like this book is about secrets, you know, how secrets can tear families apart.
one thing I noticed that, is it also, and would you say that's a coincidence or just again creative liberty that these are female protagonists?
All my protagonists are female. I don't know how boys and men think. I wouldn't know what to write.
But writing came to you a little later. Like first, your like as a celebrity, you came to Bollywood, as the term is. So can you talk about the actor in you a little bit?
I've always been very active on stage. So I think I just got picked up for many of the assignments.
Very young. I
Very
think
young.
you
I
were
was-
still in school.
Yeah. So I started very young and I've always done it. I've always been on stage. I got picked up, selected for these serials and these plays and then this movie and everything. So that phase of my life kind of just happened. You know, it's not something that I was desperately knocking on people's doors trying to be an actor or anything. And music is in my blood. It's in my blood. My mother is an excellent singer. My sister is she's a music teacher and a performer. My grandmother was an excellent singer. So music is in my blood. And I've been writing poetry since I was very young, but I never, like, even when I just held this book in my hand today, when I'm holding it, I feel, have I really written a book? And it's my fourth book. So I don't know how I became a writer.
But you juggle with so many things. For example, you're an actor, a singer, musician, and somebody who paints, somebody who's so active in theatre. What really, you choose as something which is close to your heart?
No, it's like saying, do you choose your hand or your leg or your ear or your nose?
Everything.
Yeah, it's a part of me. I can't, I don't see, I think I just feel blessed that I can express myself in different ways, because otherwise my head would just detonate and there'd be this, explosion. So I feel happy that I have so many avenues of expression, but I don't
And very
see...
popular albums to your
Yes,
credit.
yes.
As I always want you to sing few lines.
That's
From
very
your
boring. We are at a literature festival and
That is there,
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
But
and
I think everybody
like
wants
today somebody came and met me and she's like, so what was it like working with Shah Rukh Khan? I said, we are at a literature festival. Do you even know the name of my book?
But
You know?
Suchitra, today we just had a talk how literature and music and all, it's all very interconnected.
Okay.
Just before you, just to give you a
सीखो
bit.
ना नैनों की भाषा पिया, कह रही तुमसे ये खामोशियाँ, सीखो ना पिया, लब तो ना खोलूंगी मैं, समझो दिल की बोली, सीखो ना नैनों की भाषा पिया,
Beautiful.
सुनना सीखो इन हवा को, सननन सन कहती है क्या, पढ़ना सीखो सरवटों को, माथे पे जब बल खा के ये लिखती है क्या, आहटों की है अपनी जुबान, इनमें भी है एक दास्तां, आहटों की है अपनी जुबान, इनमें भी है एक दास्तां, अरे जाओ 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 पिया, सीखो ना नैनों की भाषा पिया. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very beautiful. और हम लोग तो वंचित ही रह जाते हैं अगर हम इनकी बात मान लेते कि ये गाना नहीं गाने वाली हैं.
So, one thing, Suchitra, here.
I took the wrong scale, though. I took it lower, so I was.
Yeah, understood that. It is but very
So
beautiful.
there are actors and actors of all kinds, but how has it been to also been writing seriously, also been painting, and also taking to not only music but classical music, so to say. So looking at the
I think my training in classical music is a very integral part of my development as an artist. Because when you understand, when you understand music at such depth, when you try to understand not the technicalities, but you understand the divinity behind the art, and then you understand that that is actually a philosophy for life itself. So I think my training in music is a very integral part of how I have developed as a human being and as an artist.
But talking about the creative world, there are all kinds of challenges. There is, for example, cinema of all kinds.
Yeah.
There's acting and genres of all kinds. And to mix it with that intellectual kind of genre, do you think there is a huge transition or it comes naturally to anyone like you?
I don't know, I think the challenge for me, it's not a challenge because I think I'm not so concerned about perception, but also, when you're in the glamour world, it becomes easy to not have to exercise your mental prowess. You get attention anyway. But when you find the need to do that and you don't do that, then that can be very detrimental to your own development and growth. So it's essential to do that. But for example, I had a journey where I had time, I had situations to explore these various art forms. If some people don't have the time or the inclination, so I think my journey has been unique in that sense. But it's not like I feel if like yesterday also people were asking what does it take to write. I think first of all you just need courage. कर लो, देखते हैं फिर बाद में क्या होता है.
Well said. And to talk about your singing a bit more, do you still do your riyaz?
Not as much as I'd like to, but yeah, because my daughter is also now very involved in music. Yeah, so
As you mentioned your daughter and Kaveri, just talk about her a bit. you're a proud mother
I'm a
because
very proud mother. I'm what you call an enthu cutlet mother. Sometimes people have to beg me, please now just stop talking about your
no,
daughter."
you just like to because I know she
No, but
is
she's
into a lot of things.
I think she's a prodigious music talent. She writes, sings, composes. She's been doing that since the age of 11.
And she's very young. She's in class 10.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's in class 10. So
All the
she's
best for her
Thank you,
journey
yeah.
too. Yes.
Yeah, and I think she's a good child. So she understands. She has a humility to her art, which I think is an essential part of being an artist. And I just hope, I keep telling her, you can do whatever you like. The thing is, you have to enjoy yourself.
Enjoy.
The minute your art or your life the pressure becomes a burden, step back.
So that goes for you also.
Totally. I
Totally.
can't take pressure, and I don't do
You
anything
just
that
do
gives
what
me stress.
you feel like and the moment.
Yeah, that's
The-
right.
and you're enjoying every bit of your creative.
Yes.
You've been blessed, Suchitra.
Thank you.
and
कुछ स्टूडेंट्स आए हुए हैं और हिंदी में अगर हम बात करें सुचित्रा तो ये भी कि आज का जो यूथ है जो आज के युवा हैं वो किस तरह से अपने आइकॉन्स को अपने आदर्श आइडल्स को ढूंढ रहे हैं और ऐसे में somebody like you जो कि बहुत कुछ सामने ला रही हैं एज एन एक्टर एज अ सिंगर एज अ पेंटर तो वो किस तरह की एक तस्वीर इन युवा के सामने प्रस्तुत करती है तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी कि कैसा संदेश आप देना चाहेंगी कि वो अपना रास्ता किस तरह से चुने
See, देखिए, for me, I would say, and I would say this even to my daughter, I would say this to all, people. Career is very important, but at the same time, to balance out your career and your family and your priorities is also very important. Women have a greater challenge because we bear the children, we raise the children, so we have a much greater challenge. And I think to keep the balance of your individuality, of your art, at the same time, your your commitment and responsibility towards your child, towards your family is a very essential part of it. You can't have there's no need to just have one or the other. I feel it's possible to have both, and that is the message I would like to. I don't believe in messages, but if there's something I would like to say, it's like I'd like to share. It's that it is possible to balance both, and ultimately in life is a long, long journey, and it is essential to balance both because otherwise you're not going to be a happy person.
yes, very true. And then sometimes you, at a time, you just can't. That guilt sometimes, no.
Yeah, and I think
extremely-
it's for women especially, it's a biological guilt almost. So try to
So
balance it out is a
balancing is
constant,
very important.
It's a juggling act, and but it's important. I think everybody should nurture their individuality, their talent, and their right to be successful. I mean, these are things that are not. Nobody gives you a favor. Nobody's doing you a favor by allowing you to be successful or to be ambitious. It is your right. It is your haq. That is what I tell people. And if you want it, you have to seize it. Nobody's going to give it to you.
And sometimes success is so individual, no? If you're a good homemaker and you're doing well with your children and all, that is also one kind of success. You
Absolutely,
you don't
yeah,
need to
that's-
just be known in a certain frame. And you can just be successful and enjoy your life with little things. Be happy with very small things in life. No, that also is very
No,
important.
because I'll tell you, because people are I've heard this for a long time. Arey, agar aap singing mein, if you just stuck to singing, you would be number one. If you just stuck to acting, you would be number one. I'm like, but who wants to be number one? I want
right.
to do everything I do.
That's so true.
So I think it's your individual approach to life, and everybody has a right to their individual approach. But balance is important.
Very important. Very important.
So do you think, on a little serious note, that we're talking about spaces, especially when women do all kinds of things, and they have certain sections have had their phase of struggle also, but women have really come, and they are increasingly coming up in all kinds of spaces. How somebody who's of course also been a woman who's really done everything that she wanted, maybe like you, Suchitra, how would you really look at art and the kind of space it gives to women?
I think art is it's like art is the ultimate form of individualism, It's, in a way, it's like the pen is the mightiest sword. Art is the ultimate form of individualism. So I think if you want to really express yourself and you want to be truly, unique, there's no better way of striking out than art. You're likely to make more of an impact than if you went to war or if you're stuck in the kind of corporate jungle. But these things, spaces, everything is very relative. If you're talking about in terms of women, in terms of ambition, in terms of choices and stuff like that, and there are some young kids sitting here, I would say that don't let anybody make you believe that ambition is not your right, that ambition is a male prerogative. You must know that if you want something, you have every right to go and seize it, and you have to keep your mental faculties about you to be able to achieve that in a harmonious and dignified manner.
It's true. I think even the support of the parents, maybe sometimes creativity is killed when parents are also very over ambitious with science and all. No? This is what, as a teacher, we face. Sometimes the parent support is very important.
I think parent support is the most important thing in nurturing a child's development. I think it is extremely important. I think very great artists, frankly, are made from extreme support or extreme rebellion. Either you're allowed to nurture or you have to rebel to nurture. So the in-between path just leads to a lot of conflict and mediocrity.
Because you being here, I think it's very important for the parents to understand if a child is creative and if he's not doing very well in science and all, it's okay if he's with the other art subjects, because everybody is so individual. As a teacher, I know a lot of children have quit their jobs from IIT and now they're pursuing their passion.
Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of professionals who are doing it. I remember when my daughter was very young, the constant complaint from the teachers would be that she's just dreaming in class, she's not paying attention. And I used to keep saying, no, she's a very creative child. She's not, and she's dreaming because she's not interested in that E equal to MC square nonsense, which even I've never understood, So I was like, just let her be, it's okay.
Okay, now let's talk a bit about your painting. As I just read out, it's a blessing from Lord Ganesha. We would like to hear that little story or that little that feeling from inside, or that motivation, or whatever you would want to call it.
Like I've said, that art came to me, I believe, this of course my personal belief, that it came to me as a gift because I've never painted in my life before. And after 10 days of intense prayer, during the Ganesh Chaturthi festival, at the end of the festival, I started seeing these colors and shapes and visions. And I went to my neighbor and I said, I think I'm going mad, something is really happening. And I could feel this buzz in my head, and I was feeling really weird. And she gave me she used to paint, and she was an art critic with Hindustan Times or the Mint. So she gave me a set of canvas. She gave me a canvas and a set of paints, and she said, just see, put down what's coming to your head. Don't worry about it; it'll pass. And that was the first time I ever painted in my life. And I started that night, and I stopped like 2 weeks later, and I had made some 76 canvases. My house had turned into like an art gallery. There was not a space left. So even now, if you come home, there are no spaces left. Everything is either painted or something is done.
That's beautiful.
Paint or write, Suchitra. So somebody would say whether there's a compulsion to come out with a creative outlet, whether there's some kind of catharsis that finally you kind of let something go out of your own soul, your being.
I always wait I'm not one of those disciplined writers. So let's talk about writing or even painting. I'm not one of those disciplined creators, like there are writers who get up at every 5 in the morning and they write. When I have a story germinating in my head, sometimes it germinates for weeks, for years. And then I just wait, and I'm always petrified. I'm like, I don't know how to write. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm always putting it off, till it builds up so much that then one day I feel compelled to start. It almost becomes like a subconscious dance. I feel compelled to start, and once I start, then I believe once you start, then God takes over. But to start is the most difficult thing.
So what's your ambition? What's your dream now? Where do you go ahead now? So what are you looking forward to?
I want to climb Everest. No, I mean it. I climbed Kilimanjaro 2 years ago. And
Really?
now, yeah, I want to climb Everest.
And we know that you're interested in mountains and all. So then definitely all the best
Thank
for that.
you. Yeah.
And of course, Dehradun, you'll have to come to Dehradun.
I love the city. I love the people. Thank you for inviting me, and
Oh, it's a
thank you
pleasure.
everybody for
It's a
coming.
pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I went yesterday to Masuri. I had such a great time. Tomorrow I'm going to go to the Buddha temple, monastery.
Monastery.
So I'm very excited to be here. My first time ever in Dehradun. So
So then we calling you every year now.
okay, great. I'll definitely love to come.
Like to act further? I mean, in the sense that you started acting, that in between you were finding your own space, maybe in other forms. Do you want to come back to acting again and do some certain roles that are in your mind, or something that you really would like?
I have never really stopped except maybe for a few years initially. But if something good comes my way, I'm always open to it. So there's no question of not doing something, but it has to excite me. I'm at a stage where things have to creatively excite me. You can't tell me do this, it's good for your career, because
And
I don't
that's
look
that's
at life
the way
like that.
you are.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you, like all children are, is your daughter a great critic of yours?
No, my daughter's actually much kinder.
Really?
Yeah, she's much kinder than I am. Because I tend to be very self-critical.
Yeah, okay.
So she's always telling me, like, Mama, this is great. And when she came for my play, Drama Queen, she came for the first 5 shows, and she was sitting there clapping and with tears in her
Wow,
eyes in the
really?
audience, and she kept saying, I'm so proud of you. So she's actually very, very kind and gentle about it. I tend to be much more critical about myself.
So as you mentioned, Drama Queen, just talk about that play. It was a book, and then you sort of
I made it into a
made
play.
it
I've
into a
adapted
play.
it into a play.
Yes.
So Drama Queen is a fictional memoir. It's what you call, it's in the genre of a roman à clef, which is like part fiction, part fact. Kabhi fiction, kabhi fact. Since everybody's so hung up on Bollywood, and I'll never escape that tag. So it's a very funny, tongue-in-cheek, irreverent account of a woman searching for true love in an untrue world. Of a single mother trying to reclaim her place in the world, trying to find true love, and it's all written in a very humorous, funny way. So it's received a good response, and so has the play.
You were telling me just that it is really receiving good response, and you had a lot of performances in the.
Yes,
all
we
around
had
the-
performances in Mumbai, we had a performance in Lucknow. Last weekend we were in Hyderabad. So next,
So that's
Dehradun
great.
next. Yes.
Ah, so we are calling you for in Dehradun. Yeah, clap for her, really. So now we would like some of you to ask questions to Suchitra.
Please also share your name and that
Yes.
would be
They'll need a mic or something, no?
They must be having this.
Mics can go to the audience, maybe.
Please.
Somebody can help them. So that it really becomes a very engaging kind of interaction here, where more democratic, I would say.
Lady in the front, yes.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Kiran Rai,
Hi, Kiran.
and I'm from Delhi, and I'm an author as well.
Okay.
But I wanted to tell us a little more about Drama Queen. It seems very interesting.
So, like I said, Drama Queen is a first-person memoir, and it's actually, I went through a phase of, how it is, you sit with friends and they're saying, I had some friends telling me, "Tu karti kya hai yaar? Kya kar rahi hai aajkal, Suchitra?" So I was like, "Arey what? Yeah, marry me now." And so I said that to a few people, and the responses I got, and then I actually used those instances in my book. For example, one of those people was Ram Gopal Verma, and I said, "Just marry me now, Ramu." So he got.
Oh, sorry, but you said it somewhere. I was reading.
Yeah.
You and I
You
read
really
it in
like Ram.
one of the.
No, I'm very fond of him.
Yes.
I have a lot of respect for him and a lot of affection for him. So he got very scared and he took it very seriously and he called me to his office and he said, you know, Suchitra, you don't understand. I'm not the kind of guy you're looking for. I like women's bodies, not their brains. I like how women look, not how they think and all that. So I was like, I just found it funny and I left, you know. And then on another occasion, I met Karan Johar. And I said, hey Karan, marry me now. So he said, gosh, yeah, Suchitra, why do you want to get married again? So I said, I just want a rich and powerful guy to look after me. So Karan says, ha ha, me too. So no, and so
That's funny.
so these incidents actually happened, and they happened in a social setting, and you know. But when I was starting to write it, initially I had changed their names. But then I said, why not? You know, people are spotting these days; they're more open-minded. So then I asked Ramu, I asked Karan. There's also Nagesh Kuknur, Ken Ghosh. There are a lot of real people in the book. So I asked them, I sent them sample, I sent them the written material and I said, are you okay with this? And they just said, immediately they said a yes. So now some of them have actually, for the play, they've dubbed their own voice.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So it's in that genre. And it's basically also there's also the underlying struggle of a woman trying to reclaim her place in the world, you know, like being a single mother is a challenge. And trying to kind of come out of all that muddle and to get rid of that pressure of being a good girl. We are so conditioned to wanting to being a good girl. So in my head, to break out of being that, you know, to think that, to finally tell myself, hey, it's okay, I'm not a good girl and it's okay, you know, just because I'm doing this and that, it doesn't mean I'm a bad girl. I'm still a good girl. So I think that's what I've tried to explore, but in a very humorous way.
So why don't you bring the play to Delhi?
In fact, we were scheduled to have plays next weekend. I think it's now delayed to March. We were scheduled to perform at in Delhi on 25th and 26th. But my producer just sent me a message 2 days ago that it's shifted to March. But we will be coming to Delhi very soon. Yeah. Yeah.
Organizers in Dehradun, please note this. We want to see Drama Queen here in Dehradun also.
And Drama Queen is a musical, so I've written the songs and composed it and sung it and everything. Yeah. I sing live on stage in the stage. Yeah.
We'd love to. Anyone else, please?
Has anyone ever demotivated?
Yeah. Please. Again, your question.
Has anyone ever demotivated you
Has anyone ever demotivated?
from writing?
I think, you know, in small ways, everybody around us, whether or not they know it, are constantly demotivating us. क्या ज़रूरत है ये करने की अभी? Why don't you try this, beta? You're so good at this. Why are you wasting your time doing this? So in a way, people around us, even the most well-meaning people, are almost always demotivating you. But I think the thing is that if you really want to do something, you must understand that people mean well, but you have to do what you want to do. Nobody can think better for yourself than you yourself. But you're too small, of course, you have to listen to your parents, huh?
Yes, that is also what I wanted to tell you. Anyone else?
Yes, sweetheart, go ahead. You want to ask something more?
I ask this because I'm also writing a little book. I'm
Oh.
comic stripes.
Oh, that's fantastic. I look forward to hearing
Can
that.
we have your name?
Angad.
Angad. So we are looking forward to your book.
Did I just sign a book for you, Angad? Yes, I look forward to reading your book. You must send me one. A
All
copy
the
when you
best.
write it.
All the best, Angad.
All the best, yeah.
Actually, this is not question. This is request from us. Could you sing one more song for us?
Oh my
See,
god. You know,
I
the
told
problem is
you.
I never know what song to sing.
Ma'am, the title song of Chunoti. Give us.
I don't know that song.
Title song of?
Chunoti.
Oh, that's really bad.
Why don't you come here and sing it? Come on. Because I don't know that
She's come a
song.
long way. Chunoti, I also don't remember.
Huh?
Any other request of another song maybe? She doesn't remember.
What's your favorite
I don't remember that song.
Song she missed.
विकसी पी है आशा मोती है हर पल जीवन का एक चुनौती है सीने
Not bad.
नाग जीवन करने लगा ना ना ना, आवाज देकर बुला ले तू, ला 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 ला. Ooh. Oh, thank you for this memory.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now you also go back memory lane, you remember.
So before
Thank
anybody asks a
you.
question, Suchitra, who is your favorite actor and who's your favorite singer?
I'm I'm too experienced and in the field and to have a favorite. And I have too much respect for the arts to have a favorite.
Everyone, like,
Yeah, I think any piece of art has to be respected and some excel. And also, all artists are not great at all times. I think there's a time when the force is with you.
so anyone else now?
She wanted to ask, ma'am?
The mic will come.
Yes.
Your transition from one role to another, was it a smooth, spontaneous, or transition from writing to singing?
I've never really given up anything. Like people say, have you stopped singing? Have you stopped acting? Because it's like, I have not felt I have not felt the jerks, but I think the perception, the perception of you becomes like a bit shaky. So it's like, are you a singer now? Are you a writer now? So we want to call you, ma'am. What do we call you for? So that kind of, so that becomes a bit, but for me, no. Because frankly, I only do things that I enjoy and I will continue to do it, like that.
Sujita, any of your favorite writers?
No, again, with writing also, it's the same. There are a few, like, I find the command of language of some authors very, very poignant. Like, in the newer lot, I find Jhumpa Lahiri very poignant. So there are a few writers whose style and syntax is like captivating. It like stirs you, strikes you. But otherwise, depends on the story and what I'm reading. And
So anyone else from the audience? Somebody there raising their
Some of
hand.
these young people are also
Yes,
here,
the
so I
students
think
maybe.
very pretty girls sitting all in a row here, in blue.
Which school? All from the same school?
So let the mic come in there. Maybe
Please
somebody can
give
help
them the
out.
mic.
I have a question.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm Shotrik, by the way. How was
Sorry, I
it?
didn't hear your name.
Shotrik.
Shotrik. Hi,
Yeah.
hi.
How was it like working with Shah Rukh Khan?
Oh my God.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Okay.
I'm just
It's a
kidding.
joke.
Okay. So the question is, do you miss being in films?
Not at all. I don't miss, I may miss the craft, but I don't miss stardom at all. In fact, I find, for me it's very important that I can walk around in Mussoorie, I can go anywhere, I can interact with people. I think in a way stardom restricts that, limits you, and I don't miss that part of it at all. At all. In fact, I don't wish it either.
Yeah, I must tell you that she's a great traveler. So she
Yes,
likes
she
seeing a lot
is.
of places and
In these
meeting a lot of
1.5 days, I think she's been to Mussoorie and in Rishikesh, and yeah, that's it. But quite a big.
people. Yeah. So some of these students must ask maybe a question.
Which school?
Yeah, she's there. She's asking.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
We are from the Vellum Girls School.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
I have a
welcome.
friend who's from Wellams.
Welcome. Yes, please. Yeah.
Ma'am, I want to ask you that as a writer, like it requires a lot of introspection and all. So there's always this question in my mind, like in some point of time, are writers lonely?
Yes, writers are very lonely. I think all to create anything vast and deep and in any art form, even if you're when you're painting or when you're making a movie, any art form essentially, especially writing, because writing is something, it's just you and that your keyboard and your characters, everything is just being played out in your head. So it is very lonely, but it's that loneliness that your friend is your imagination. So those characters start speaking to you, they become your friends. So at one point you'll find that you don't have to think anymore. Your characters start talking to you. Your scenes just unfold automatically. So in that sense, it's very exciting. But yeah, you don't meet people for weeks at end, and sometimes you forget to comb your hair.
I think a lot of creative
Thank you.
creative people are very lonely. It is something which is very difficult to understand. Maybe.
No, but the only things there are some collaborative arts. For example, filmmaking is more a collaborative act. But the person who's
still at the
first
top,
writing that
yes.
film, writing that story, it's a solitary process.
True.
Hello, ma'am, this is Vistar.
Hi, Vistar.
Ma'am, I want to ask that a writer needs vast research in any field he or she is writing. Ma'am, you are active in so many fields.
Yeah.
When do you get time to research on, like you have written a book, when do you got such time to research on ghost and all these things?
Ghost research on ghost.
Have you read the
No,
book?
ma'am, your book. No, ma'am, I've not read the book. I have just heard the title.
No, I think not having time in any whatever field you're in, however busy you are, I think saying you don't have time is an excuse. I find people who do more things are more successful. Always have the time to do that one more thing, take one more step. Whereas if you're not inclined, then you won't make that effort in the first place.
No, ma'am, I was talking about complete research. I've heard that a writer needs.
This is not a scientific study on ghosts. I don't need to,
Then also to relate the story to carry on with the
Pure
fiction.
imagination.
It's my imagination.
Pure imagination.
And there's obviously, there are parts of the book where her parents think she has epilepsy, so they start
That is
getting
what
a diagnosis for that. Yeah, so that was heavily researched because I have doctors in my family. My brother's a doctor, my bhabhi's a doctor, so all those are medical facts that I put in. Yes.
So, ma'am, in your book, there is no ghost. It's just an epilepsy problem to that child.
You have to read the book.
Read the book.
Certainly.
If I tell you the whole story, you're not going to read it. Yeah.
So between cinema and theatre, Suchitra, because cinema we know has a certain background, but theatre is very live. What do you enjoy more, maybe?
See, cinema has the glory, cinema has the money, and cinema has the power of being omnipresent. You can be in 10,000 theatres at the same time. Whereas theatre, you're there in that one moment. That one moment is all you have. There are no retakes, there are no second chances. It is just the pure moment. So they are such different art forms but I think I would say that theatre is a very good discipline for any actor to have.
But Suchitra, on the other hand, if the film flops, then we've seen a lot of turmoils happening in an individual's life as an actor also.
Yeah, but failure and success and everything, and I think also it's a maybe not an absolutely correct thing to say, but things like stardom are not necessarily commensurate with how good you are.
Yes, that is what I wanted
Or
to
how
ask,
hard
yeah.
you have worked. There are some things like stardom that is destined, and so one must never lose hope or lose faith in oneself if that is not achieved, because those things have to do with planets and stars and configurations in the sky. It has nothing to do with individual effort and talent.
True. Anyone else?
Yeah. Namaskar, ma'am. I am Dr.
Namaskar.
Giriraj Dhiman.
Hello.
This is an extension to the earlier question which my predecessor, this gentleman asked. You are managing so many roles. Like you are a painter, successful painter, you are a writer, you are an actor, you are a singer. To do all these roles, to perform all these roles successfully, you need to maintain concentration and focus. So how do you achieve that level of focus and concentration? Do you meditate or do some yoga or anything? Any tips you can give to the budding or future generation?
I think discipline is very important. I think discipline is, whether you find that discipline through meditation, whether you find it through exercise, whether you find it through riyaz. I think discipline is very important in keeping one grounded, in keeping one focused, and keeping one on the path. It's very easy to fritter your energies away with, grandiose ideas and your imagination and just getting carried away by things that don't necessarily benefit you. So I think discipline is very important. Being surrounded by the right people is very important. It is very important to be in the right company, to be surrounded by people who nurture you, who encourage you, who don't belittle you, who understand your need for solitude, also your need for love. I think these things, one has to find a balance, but the bottom line through everything is that you have to be disciplined.
Just continuing from that question, I was not aware of these wellness scandals. Can we just know about this?
So I have a company that I went through a phase of extreme insomnia for a while. I couldn't sleep, sometimes of weeks and stuff. So, and I didn't want to take pills, you know. So I started researching alternate methods of, and I discovered aromatherapy. So then I went to France and I trained in aromatherapy, and I trained in, and I love candles. So I used to make candles as a hobby. So then I said, why not combine the science of aromatherapy with the art of making candles, and that's how I created the Candlelight Company. And so we sell now on Amazon and stuff.
That's beautiful. Anyone?
So wellness, according to you, would combine what all in terms of, you talked about discipline, focus, you talked about the right kind of ambience and atmosphere that should be around you. What would really according to you, define this whole sense of being?
I think good thoughts, good food, good exercise, you know, peaceful atmosphere. Like, I light candles all the time, and to stay away from negativity, you know, that all that, because ultimately what is in the outside world is then finally manifested in your body as disease. So what if your thoughts are going haywire, that is what manifests as disease. So I think it's very important to have a balance of everything: good food, good lifestyle, good thoughts. I think the bottom line is good thoughts.
So you're a complete foodie. You love eat.
I love to eat. Yeah.
And what about the cooking aspect? You like to cook?
Yeah, I like to, but I don't have anybody who likes to eat my food so much. So.
Any more questions?
Any more questions?
And maybe start the next session also. Yeah. I'm being told that we have to wrap up. So any more last question?
Can't hear you.
Mike.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Congratulations for the release of your new book.
Thank you.
Ma'am, my question is, how can a new writer get a book published? What are the steps like? Is it tough to get the book published?
See, writing is a
Because,
very,
you are, already a celebrity. What about common people like us? Suppose we write a book and desire to get it published. What are the steps like? Getting to Penguin, it's not an easy task, right? So even ordinary publishers, how do we approach them, and what are the steps like for getting a book published?
No, for example, when I think you have to ask around. A lot of publishers now have online pages where they ask for, they invite material. They have checks. I think it's a misnomer that one thinks that if you're a celebrity you can get published. I would like to take that thought out of people's head, because if you write rubbish, nobody's going to publish you. No publication of publisher of repute is going to risk their own reputation because you did a movie with Shah Rukh Khan or with Amir Khan or something like that. So I think that is being very disrespectful of any celebrity who's had a book published, not just me. But the process for everybody is the same. You approach them either through the websites or through you ask for recommendations. Like for example, when I had when I had written the Summer of Cool, I approached a writer friend of mine called Mahesh Dattani, and I said, hey, I've written this book, now I don't know what to do with it. So he put me in touch with somebody at Penguin, and that's how, and my Summer of Cool got selected immediately. They got excited immediately. But for Drama Queen, let me tell you, I was rejected by at least 7 or 8 publishers before Hachette printed that book. So it doesn't make a difference how famous you are, how many famous names you have in the book. It all depends on what that publisher at that moment is looking for.
But can I add to that that there is this pressure of then marketing it, reaching out to a larger number of
Yes, when I wrote Drama Queen, it was rejected because they found it too irreverent, they found it un-Indian, they found it too brash. It doesn't fit our marketing profile. We don't know how to market it. But the main thing was it is too irreverent and too un-Indian. And I said, what do you mean? Am I not Indian? You know, this is how a lot of people, and now people tell me, oh my God, your Amma is just like mine. This situation is just like mine. Every woman who has read that book comes and tells me that. So you will face a lot of rejection, but you have to keep at it. Thank you for your question. Yeah.
So keep trying. That's the whole message here.
So we'll wrap up, Rakhi.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe the last one. You one. Suchitra, maybe
Suchitra.
comment on how you like being here.
Yeah.
Thank you. The questions have been very incisive, very sweet, and
have a big
very earnest. Yeah, thank you
Yes.
for that. Thank you for coming, all of you, and listening to us jabber away.
No, we
And it's
wish
been
you
a
all the
pleasure being in
best. We wish
Dehradun,
you
and
all
I
the
wish the
best.
Dehradun Lit Fest lots and lots of luck. May it become an event in India's literary calendar, and may it go from strength to strength. And I hope to be a part of it forever.
Yes,
Thank you.
and thank you for being here. It was such a great, it's real pleasure to just know you as a person also. Really.
We all interacted.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you, and you've been a great audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much and all the best. to
Thank you,
Dehradun
ma'am.
Culture too.
I now request Anurag Chauhan to present a token of appreciation
I love gifts.
to Miss Krishnamurthy. Miss Meenakshi Sehlawat. And Miss Rakhi Bakshi.